Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Denise. I'm a manifestation coach, and if you would like coaching, there's a link in the description below that will take you to all the coaching services that I offer. Today we're going to talk about parallel realities and what this reality is in relation to the concept of parallel realities. Now, obviously, this is all my assumptions and beliefs and thoughts, and it's just everything that I've gathered over the decades of studying all of this whole realm, this whole world. What does it all mean? Quantum physics, manifestation, law of assumption, all of that stuff. But so when we are sitting here in this physical reality and we're trying to explain from this limited physical perspective what's happening, it can be very ambiguous and it can just be hard to explain. It's a difficult concept to even fathom and understand, let alone to put into words and translate for someone else to understand. I always try the best I can to come up with analogies or ways that I can help make sense of it. And so what I want to reiterate first is that your 3D reality, though it is the seemingly real experience, it's not actually tangibly real. It's not objectively real. It's not real in the sense that if you pull your awareness away from it, it is still maintaining the way it was while you were aware of it, right? So it's an illusion that is manifested as what appears to be real for our 3D senses, which also are a manifestation, right? This whole physical realm is a manifestation of thought, of intention, of energy, of assumption, of vibration. There's many different ways of explaining it, but that's what this reality is. And so we're also manifesting explanations for how things work in this reality, how thought transmission works, how everyone as you pushed out works. Like, it's all a very interesting concept to try to explain. It's like an ant trying to explain the mechanics of the engine in your vehicle, right? It's like we're in this 3D realm trying to explain the expanded reality or this expanded truth. And so, what else is interesting is that in this reality, any truth can be truth. In other words, there are many different ways of conceptualizing how reality works and how manifestation works, and whether it's the universe and whether it's you and your subconscious or whether it's God, and all of these different possibilities exist as truths for anyone to manifest for themselves. In other words, it kind of goes back to the old, it's all real and none of it's real at the exact same time. And the best way I can explain that and wrap my mind around that is to understand that even real isn't physically real. It is not solid. It's not definitive. It's not the one truth. It's not in existence when I'm not aware of it. I'm manifesting a seemingly real experience based off of my thoughts, assumptions, and beliefs, and thus they are manifesting as seemingly real to me. They are manifesting as true for me. So when we talk about parallel realities, that's also another very ambiguous thing. Like, is it a reality that exists the way this one does? Is it physical the same way this one appears to be physical? Or are they physical the same way this one appears to be physical? Are these things that are always, we're told, are happening in reality actually happening in that reality? I would say no, because my assumption is that you have to have conscious awareness of something for it to be real, for it to be happening, for it to be taking place. Other than that, it just exists as a potential. So it's like the I don't know if it's called kinetic energy, the energy that's like waiting to be used, to be energy. It's stored, it's like chilling, it's hanging out. That's kind of how I think of parallel realities and the quantum field. I personally don't think that there is a reality existing the same way that this one is existing, and I can shift my state of consciousness into that reality. For years, I did think that. I believed that was true. Now I feel like it's all just a potential. It's the energetic equivalent of this reality, or that ideal, that parallel reality that I'm focused on. However, for it to actually be manifest as a real, seemingly real experience, I believe that consciousness has to be aware of it. It's my assumption and belief that consciousness experiencing is what makes things seem real to us. And so when I think of the parallel reality theory, it's more like how I've kind of talked about Amazon before. It's more like all these products exist on Amazon. They're all there, but they're not really real for you unless you're searching for them and putting them in your shopping cart or seeing them when you're ordering other things because they're similar to what other people have bought, right? There's millions of products that exist that aren't actually real for you because you're not even aware of them. You don't have your attention on them. Therefore, for you, they don't really exist. They don't become part of your consciousness. And that's how I think of the realities in the quantum field, is that it's all there for experience, for consciousness to experience, to be more specific. But if consciousness isn't experiencing it, then it's not actually happening and it's not actually real. So even still, though, it doesn't negate the fact that all possibilities exist in the quantum field. And if you like the parallel reality theory, that it's actually a reality that's taking place and that's thriving and in movement and in motion, and you bring yourself into it, then you can have that. I'm not taking that away from you. You totally get to have that for you. I just feel like it's a little different, but it still doesn't negate the fact that everything you experience is a reflection of your state of consciousness. And you, at every moment in time, always have the ability to move in states of consciousness. In fact, that is what movement in time is. It's us shifting states of consciousness over and over and over and over again. However, we are keeping our realities very similar because 95% of our thoughts today are the same thoughts we had yesterday, unless we are consciously choosing new thoughts. And therefore, 95% of our reality is going to be the same as it was yesterday, unless we are consciously choosing new thoughts that will be reflected back in that reality. So you're shifting states constantly. That's the movement aspect. That's time. That's what all of this is. And can you shift into any state that's available? Absolutely. But your ability to shift drastically into a parallel reality that seems very different than the one you're in now is going to be directly related to your ability to imagine that reality, to feel from that reality, to in your mind to be able to have the fulfillment of the satisfaction of that reality being your environment, and your ability to believe that you can shift into that reality, which is reflected in your ability to imagine it, right? And so you want to keep kind of expanding your mind to all possibilities exist. That for me has been a great mantra or affirmation that I've used over decades. Even before I knew I was affirming it, I was trying to I wanted to know it. I wanted the answer to it. And I would always think that thought, but all possibilities exist. They all exist. And then that gets your mind exploring the other possibilities that you can be open to and that you can experience in your life. And this is a really great way if you are feeling like you're stuck in a very undesirable experience right now, a reality that's not serving you, and you're feeling like it's just so familiar that you're in that feedback loop of consistently manifesting the same shit because you're thinking the same thoughts and you don't even know what it would feel like to be in this other state and to have this other reality. And so start there. Start with contemplating, but all possibilities exist. And then you get into my favorite, which is, what will it feel like when? How will it feel to? What will I see? What will I hear? What will I think? What will be different? What will they say? What will I experience? What will it feel like when? How will I feel as? How will I feel when? This is, aside from revision, this has been my favorite method for manifesting great change in my reality. Revision coupled with that has been tremendous for me, and you guys are seeing the results of that. Some of them you're not seeing, but that's okay. We don't got to put it all out there. Although stay tuned for that, because you will be hearing my personal relationship story, and it's very likely that you'll be hearing with my SP because we've been talking about that. So that's going to be fun. Probably not for another month or so. He's got big plans coming up. Anyway, so yeah, that's my video. I want you guys to really get into that, knowing that, yeah, all the possibilities exist. And whether you think it's a parallel reality that's actually taking place and you're transporting yourself into, or whether you think that it's just an energetic possibility that exists, but is still just as real, because actually none of it's real and it's all real. And what do we know anyway? It's all just energy that's manifest in physical form. The only thing that's real is how you're feeling and what you're telling yourself. I mean, that's the real. That's what it really comes down to, is all of this is actually nothing. It doesn't matter, because all of this we are interpreting as feeling in here. We're interpreting it as like, oh, that feels good. Oh, I like that. Oh, I don't like that. And so the only thing that matters is the feeling, the state you're holding, the state you're conforming to, the state you're choosing, the state you're in, the state you're selecting. Again, many different ways of thinking about it. And it all depends on, are you being a victim to your reality and to your thoughts? And are you conforming to a state because you're seeing it reflected outward and you keep validating it through that reflection? Or are you being the master? And are you choosing a state and then watching your reality reflect and reveal that back to you? Okay. So there's my video. You guys are amazing. I'm going to go have some lunch and I will see you next time. Bye.